This video is for those of you who are in a long distance relationship with a Filipina or considering a long distance relationship with a Filipina, and particularly around the question, will she remain loyal to you? And equally important, she's going to be wondering if you are being loyal to her during these times apart. Now, of course, not all Filipinas are the same. Some can go years and will wait for you. And equally, there'll be some Filipinas who can't wait more than a week or two, or perhaps a few months before they need affection and love from somebody. Let's face it, it's a human need that we all have some sort of human touch or affection, something we crave. And if we go long periods of time without it, it can become very hard. So how can we be sure that when we enter a relationship with a Filipina, that she's going to remain loyal and faithful during those times apart? Well, back in 2013, I was in such a relationship, and that's ultimately led to getting married. And we've been together now for over 10 years and as husband and wife for over 9 years. Now, we first met online in February of 2013, and in June of 2013 was when I went to the Philippines for the first time to meet her. So let's say that's about 4 months. Now, the reason I did that was because I wanted to know if this woman I've been building an online relationship with, or as I often call it, a chatmate, if she was a potential partner for a serious long-term relationship. And the only way for me to do that was to fly over there. And I didn't want to leave it too long, because if you leave it too long, the chances of the relationship working out diminish over time. And sure, there's some people who may leave it a few years and it all works out, but they're the exception to the rule, in my opinion. So the idea is that when you go over there, you're spending a good amount of quality time together. You're getting to meet her family and friends, co-workers, whatever the case may be, but you're getting a good feel for her in her country. And of course, you'll see how the relationship progresses, whether there's a spark there, whether there's chemistry, whether there's something there that you can grab onto. And of course, you can see for yourself in person what she's like pretty much 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whereas on the internet, you only get to see what you see in those short periods of times that you may be chatting. So I believe if you leave it any longer than 4, 5, maybe 6 months, the chances are that the person that you're having the long distance relationship with could stray due to the fact that they might want that affection that we talk about, which is a human need. And it's something we don't like to go too long without. Now, as I said earlier, everyone is different, but we must know the fear is real. And many people do have this fear that while you're doing your thing in your country and she's doing her thing in the Philippines, what is she really up to? How can you be sure? Well, it comes down to the mutual trust that you have in each other, but you don't want to have blind trust. Blind trust is not good. Blind trust is what leads to people playing you for a fool, playing you for your money. Even if you've met in person, you can still be taken by a Filipina. How do you know she's not married and she's just going off with you for that 1 or 2 weeks while you're there, and to have you believe that this relationship is real, so she keeps getting money? Well, the way we gauge that is from the first time we meet her, we're watching her very carefully of what she's saying and what she's doing. We're building our relationship. We're seeing how transparent she is. And if she seems very transparent, she's showing you her friends, family, all this sort of thing, well, that's a good thing. We can tick a box there and say, yeah, okay, that's good. But we must still keep watching, and we still interact with her nearly on a daily basis if we can. I know most of you guys out there who have been in a long distance relationship with a Filipina have told me, and they're much like me, where you talk every day to each other because you're building that relationship and you want to keep that connection so people don't stray and find somebody else. And then the icing on the cake is, as I say, when we go there, and if we go there after 4 or 5 months or somewhere around about that period, then we can cement that relationship. When you cement that relationship, and if it's real between the two of you, so if you have genuine feelings for her and she has genuine feelings for you, then the risk of straying or not remaining loyal diminishes quite a lot. Now, nothing is ever guaranteed in any relationship. You can have the most perfect relationship with anyone in the world. And of course, people do stray, people do have affairs, and this is life. All we can do as grown men is make the best decision we can make for ourselves based on what we're seeing in front of us, using our observation skills so we're not ignoring any red flags that she might be throwing out there. And of course, the feeling we get, the gut feeling from inside, whether or not she is loyal and honest, and everything she's telling you all gels and adds up as her being truthful. And of course, when you come home after meeting her for the first time, you won't be having that much anxiety if things went well. If you two built that trust and connection while you were there, you're not going to be as worried or concerned. So you'll then keep up that long distance relationship by doing your video chats and whatnot. And of course, then you might get back over there within a few more months, 3, 4, 5 months. Or for some people, if you're in the US, you might start your K1 visa to have her to come to your country if you guys are that keen to get married. Or if you're in a country like mine in Australia, you could get her a tourist visa to come here, and that can be anywhere from 3 to 12 months. And you'll find how she goes in your country and how you two go over a longer period of time as a couple. And I mustn't forget those guys who are of retirement age. You might even shoot over to the Philippines for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, or you might even decide to live there. And of course, you'll get a very good feel before you tie the knot, whether or not she's the right one for you. The whole point here is don't rush things as far as the relationship goes, but you do want to meet at a fairly early stage. As I say, not after a couple of weeks, but give it 3 or 4 months, and if all seems good, off you go. That's my best advice, guys, on a long distance relationship with a Filipina, whether or not she will remain loyal to you. Now, be sure to let me know in the comments of your experiences around this. What did you do when you started a long distance relationship with a Filipina? Or if you're about to start a relationship with a Filipina and it's going to be long distance, let me know in the comments below why you're looking for a Filipina and what you hope to get out of it. And of course, if you've got any other questions for me, feel free to put them in the comments and I'm more than happy to answer them. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and take care.